Hi, hello, how are you? Thanks for stopping by. Today we're going to talk to some real people about some real things, living real lives, doing real stuff. This is the Working Perspectives Podcast, Weekend Poppin'. I'm Matt Lavelle, accompanied by Party Boy Pete McCormick, Stunning Steve Cabot, and Dangerous Diana Spencer. Party Boy Pete, how are you feeling, my man?
I'm feeling pretty good, Bartholomew.
Very good, very good. Glad to hear. Dangerous Diana, how are you today?
I'm good. I'm enjoying sitting outside finally because it cooled down enough.
Very nice, very nice. I heard you Italians like being outside. All right. And then Strong Stem, how are you, good sir?
Out here alive and thriving with some loving wrestling beer.
Whoa.
How about
it? There we go.
All right.
Yes,
Is that
sir.
the Mayflower Brewing Company?
Yeah, I think it's in Boston or somewhere up there. My buddy's girlfriend's from that way, whatever. So it's either Maine or Boston, one of them.
Love it. All right. Nice.
Maine's one of the meccas of craft beer.
Yeah.
Ooh, I didn't know that.
Yep. It's no Philadelphia, but it's pretty good. So, all right. You can find all our episodes and all our content on all podcast platforms and YouTube at Working Perspectives Podcast. You can follow us on Instagram at Working Perspectives Podcast and hang out with us on the Twitter and the TikTok at Working P Pod. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, email us at workingperspectives@gmail.com. All right, let's get this thing started. Let's go.
It's our objective to be effective by voicing societies. Working perspective, exploring your day and how you get paid. Launching a new episode every Tuesday. Your day can transform while we inform with new episodes available on every platform. So check out our vibe and how we get live. Then do us a solid. Share and subscribe. Would you share it? Would you share it? Would you share it? Working perspectives.
All right. So this week we aired the Frank Palumbo episode. Let me tell you, dude, I'm telling you, I've gotten a few people have contacted me saying like this was a fantastic episode. We had really great content. It's kind of like we don't get political on the show, but we touched a subject that's very like culturally sensitive at the time, being that Frank is the Philadelphia police captain, right? Or a Philadelphia police chief, or captain, I believe. Yeah, captain. But either way, it was his rise to how he came up through the ranks, how he chose to work in the Badlands, right? How he like remembered his first day, like everything like that, like going through the academy and like even the jobs he had before that when he was a roofer and working for UPS and like all these things. Really, really, really great stuff. Really great story. And then we got to tell the story about his fight that he had before the pandemic. It was awesome. Party Boy Pete, I know we recorded together, but what'd you think, sir?
I think anytime you start out with somebody saying they wanted to be a ninja, you're going to have a good podcast. And the best they can do is actually go to the police academy and become a cop.
Yeah.
We touched on the podcast, but, Frank joined the force in 91 when, violent crime was at its apex in the U.S., the early 90s. So he got to see the city transform over the last couple of decades. So it was definitely interesting stuff. And he's a history buff, Matt, which I'm always a big fan of.
You and me both, brother. Love a good history buff. Speaking of history buff, Strong Stem, what did you think of the episode?
Hey, I was raised by a lot of all the influential men in my life that I had a great respect for. A lot of them were old school Italian guys. Yeah. And old school Italian guys just have a way about themselves that, it hits home to me. I think the guy's a great guy.
Yeah. He is.
Great episode.
Yeah.
Just so no relation to the Palumbo, they know everything's named after in South Philly.
Yeah.
No mob connections for this guy.
There's a certain way, like a lot of my ex-girlfriend, all her like parents, everybody else, a lot of guys in my life, old school Italian guys, especially South Philly guys in those areas. There's a way they go about their lives and themselves as a gentleman and still like a savage and blah, blah, blah. It's one of the influential people in my life. That whole way they move.
Party Boy Pete, something different.
What's going on here?
Did you shave?
Oh, I trimmed my beard a little too short. It's still there, but it's
Shades.
yeah.
Wow. Look at
Oh,
you.
I see. Yo,
You
is that
look
got
like a
buttons
new
on that shirt?
person. That good looking son of a bitch. All right, awesome.
I'm starting my contract work this week, so
you have
I
to
had
be-
some
yeah.
Zoom meetings and I look presentable.
Yeah, I hear you. I know how that goes. Very cool. All right. Well, you look great, buddy, as always. So,
And Matt, I did the I had the collared shirt with ball shorts on, so
Oh.
business up top, party at the bottom.
yeah, I know that look very well. Very well.
Speaking of looks, what's going on with this T-shirt? We got a Jimmy long neck, or is that thing got buttons on it? What are we working with over there, Pete? I can't see the bottom of it.
That's
You
a little
better have
polo.
goddamn buttons.
It's a
Oh,
polo.
all right.
It's got
look
some,
at you.
Oh, all right.
Oh.
I thought he just had a Jimmy
There you
long
go.
neck in the collar that went down around his thing.
Oh, he's got a little golf action. Nice.
Look at you. All right, Pete.
Yeah. Dangerous Diana, what'd you think of the Frank Palumbo episode?
It's funny. So like Steve was saying, like I was raised by a bunch of South Philly Italians, right? It's my
Yeah.
whole mom's side of the family, and they're
Yeah.
all cops, and they are
Oh.
all yeah. It is. They all sound the same. They all have the same mannerisms. It's like the old school cops. They have the same vibe to them. It's pretty funny.
Yeah. I'll
Whenever
say,
I meet another.
I don't want to speak for everybody, but I know on at least for me, and I think Pete, you were the same. I very much support the police. So big fan to have a cop on the show and to, be able to share his side of the story. You know what I mean? Like when there was a part
They
of
definitely got stories.
well,
Yeah.
there was a part of the
Too many
episode-
stories.
Oh, so many. We go over like he's the head bicycle patrol cop, and so during the riots, he's like he had to spend, I think he said like 30 something hours or something straight down here, like running the bike patrols and everything like that. Like he's a father of 7 kids. So there's like a story he tells during the riot where he almost got his head crushed in by a brick. You know what I mean? Like, and he got his life saved by one of his lieutenants who was like, stopped him right before. He's like, if I will walk like another half a step, that thing's smashing my head in.
That's why I don't date cops.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Straight up. Those 2 reasons I don't date cops, but that's one of the reasons I don't date cops.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Marty D just said if you trying to send dick pics and you're on the PPD, it's not
No
working.
cops. No
Not
cops, no
working.
work, no neighborhood. Those
no
are my rules.
PPD from the PPD. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. No, my wife has said the same thing where she was like, I couldn't take it if you were a cop, because she's like,
Yeah.
the stress of, and I, and I kind of like understand where it's like the stress of I leave home every day, you don't know if I'm coming back, right?
Nope.
Like
That fast.
that's
8-hour shift. You don't even know if you're gonna
That's
make that.
crazy. Your whole life can change like that. I've been to so many. I've
gotten so many of those phone calls from like people I know, family members. You know what I mean? Middle of the night.
Yeah.
Drop what you're doing, get to the hospital, kind of thing.
God.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
Fuck
it
that.
breaks your fucking Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a rough life.
Scary as shit.
But they do provide a service that that I'm very thankful that they do. So it does take a lot of courage and respect for them for doing
It does.
Because we do mention
The thing with Frank was Frank
Yeah.
had been in a bunch of, like, a lot of guys, they'll spend their career in like 1 or 2 districts, but he's hopped around the city in a bunch of different capacities, which is pretty cool to hear about too.
Yeah, he chose. So I think it was his first sergeant position when he first turned sergeant. He chose to go to the Badlands, which is the 26th district. So he went there like knowing like he knows he's in the shit. And this was like during he survived clean streets in the Badlands, like the whole gimmick. And he was, yeah, man. I mean, he's, I'll tell you too, like talking to the guy, he's just like a good fucking dude, man. Like he's one of those guys that you would like. I met him at the gym, and he came in and he was just one of those dudes where you're like, all right, this guy's all right.
I think we've all dealt with like a hard ass cop here or there, especially like in high school or anytime you're in New Jersey. And he had a much different feel to him.
Yeah, for sure. Nice. So, okay, like we said, the Frank Palumbo episode is available on all podcast platforms and YouTube at Working Perspectives Podcast. But coming up next week, we have a special guest host with N-Dub's favorite son, Strong Stem Steve Cabot. And then our guest on next week's podcast is the indomitable Tommy Romeo. Now, I know we recorded it, Strong Stem. I'm really interested to see, like, how excited you are for this for this episode.
I'm super excited. Tommy's like I said, he's like a little brother to me.
Great
and,
guy.
great person, wild kid, great family, and he has. Tommy got some stories. Tommy been through some shit, you know.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And Tommy, he fits the most mold of this show you ever meet because of the whole working perspective. What do you think Tommy has? 30 jobs in his life?
Dude, and we don't even cover really half of them. Like,
kid, and he always goes higher in every job. Like, Tommy's a worker.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think Pete even says it on the episode. Is that one thing that you would describe Tommy? He's a grinder. Is that he finds a job, he works his hardest at every job he has. He's been put in a leadership position in multiple jobs. That just shows like how hard of a worker he is and how he does his thing. We find out his parents both, like, he comes from a family that survived on a family business, right? So like he's been working for his family business since he could walk, you know, like the whole thing. So really, really good stuff.
To get onto the grinder thing too, to even go a little deeper onto that, like one of the things is like sometimes people get opportunities in their life and they're kind of scared to go for it. You're like, I don't know if I know this enough. I don't know if people will respect me enough. And like that is a town itself, just like going, balls deep, head first into any project. And Tommy just kind of seems like that guy. He'll take the responsibility and he knows he's going to take his lumps when he first gets in there, but he's going to figure it out.
Yeah, Steve loves going balls deep on grinder.
Yo, so here's the thing, and just like we're gonna skip that. The last the same thing with like your last podcast with Palumbo.
Yeah.
Thomas, he got his work ethic and the way he was raised from an old Italian guy. His father's like old school as they get, one of the hardest workers I've ever met. Same theme as that. This is the byproduct of it. This kid, wherever he goes, he's busts his ass, and if you bust your ass, you're gonna get promoted and do better. Yeah. So it's all a boss can ask for.
I agree, man. That's something that we've said on this show where it's like I'll see, especially like young kids, it's
not that hard. It's not that hard. There's a proven science. Work harder. Yeah. You'll go further.
Yeah. Like complaining the most and doing the least doesn't get you a promotion or, a managerial role.
No, it gets you disliked and people start to alienate you because you're a fucking crybaby. I don't want to hear your shit. Everybody's got problems. Calm down, buddy.
Yeah. So, like we said, next Tuesday, July 20th, Tommy Romeo episode will be available on all podcast platforms. About Working Perspectives podcast. Chief Strong Stem is the special guest host on that episode. Really, really cool stuff. Really cool jobs he's had. He has a really cool job right now. But just like he's had a great story. Kind of like, I don't know if people remember Eddie Rappo. We kind of ran into an Eddie Rappo situation and just a whole bunch of that. But like really like, when I say indomitable, that's the truth because Tommy kept getting kicked and knocked down, but he gets right back up and he's right back at it, and he's a no quit kind of hardworking blue collar guy, which is what the world needs, people like that. And then this also
kid, this kid Diana. So for him and his brother, last name is Romeo, right? Yeah. So every time he went to a bar and you're like college age and stuff, and everybody's all drunk, and girls be like, "Oh my God, he's cute. What's his name?" And we're like, "Oh, this is Romeo." And they're like, "Oh, what's that? His nickname?" And you have to explain to her how no, it's her last name. And then the stupid girl will be like, all of a sudden he became even hotter because his last name is Romeo. And now they just think it's like
it's a potential last name.
Oh my God, forget about it. They loved it. This kid.
The
Diana, last name killing people.
I have a picture and I will gladly nope, not this one. Yep. Okay. I don't know if you can see my screen.
There he is. That's the painting.
This is the promo poster that will be going out.
Put the painting up.
This is the promo poster that will be going out tomorrow. Will be put on social media to start promoting his episode next week. I mean, can't say enough about how great the poster looks, but it doesn't hurt to have a freaking good-looking Italian on there. Yeah. So there you go. Yeah. So nice. So okay, very cool. So like we said, all episodes available on all podcast platforms and YouTube at Work Perspectives Podcast. So all right, let's get to some chatting. So last weekend, some things happened. I'd like to hear about it. Diana, anything happened in your life last weekend besides watching Game of Thrones?
You go to Longwood Gardens. What's the deal? You see that flowers?
That's this Saturday.
Damn. We talked about this last week. You still didn't go?
Yeah. No, it's tickets. What the fuck you want me to do? Was it?
I don't know.
The date of the show.
Yeah,
Friday I got shit housed.
I think it was last week you said you wanted to get into some trouble.
I was itching for it, right? I didn't do anything. I wasn't trouble. I could have been. I started right before I went to bed, I started getting rowdy. It was getting there. It was getting there.
We've all been there.
But no, I got trashed. So Saturday I was dead. And then Sunday I did yard work. I actually trimmed my hedges. I'm fucking covered in poison ivy again.
Damn.
Oh, I feel bad for any guy that hangs out with you. Jeez.
So hold
It's
on.
not contagious. That's a myth.
You're
It's
out
not
of your
contagious.
bird. That absolutely is.
What?
No, it's
so
not.
here's the. Oh my.
It is?
Dude,
Anyway,
I get it. This is the 4th time I've had it this year. I get it.
I thought you could only get it once in a year.
Hell
No.
no, it's
No,
an
you get it a
allergic
million times.
reaction.
Yeah, I get it all
That's
the
like
time.
I
all these
fucking walk
myths.
past it. I look
get
at
that
a
shit all
picture
the
of
time.
it and I get it.
Yeah, I get it all the time. So what are you doing for it? You taking baths and shit? You going oatmeal in the tub, or what we doing here?
Fuck no. I cut them open. I slice it like I scratch them open and then alcohol.
Yep.
So I have like alcohol.
Fries it up
plates.
real quick. Yeah, it burns a little bit, but
I'd rather
Yo,
burn than
gets rid
itch,
of it.
dude.
Yeah, gets rid of it.
man.
You're right.
Burn than itch.
Yo,
Yeah,
I'll
you
tell
know the deal then. Good for you, Diana.
I will say
yeah. Go
there's
ahead,
this
D.
stuff. So here's a recommendation. There's this stuff called
Hell yeah, hit them with it.
I just found out from the landscapers at work. It's called Technu. So it's a body wash that after you
Use in the shower.
Yup. After you fuck around with poison, you take it in the
Who
shower.
told you this? A Mexican feller?
No. Why is he gotta be Mexican?
Because you said landscaping. I'm sorry. We got
So?
to cut that.
Sorry, Puerto Rican.
Racist.
All right, right,
So-
right. Yeah. Go back into it.
Anyway, so
That shit works though.
You take that body you take that body wash in the shower and it has to be in cold water because you don't want to open your pores. You
Remove
scrub
the
down with it.
oils. Remove
You
the
scrub
oils
the
from your
shit
skin.
out of yourself. Yeah. So if you catch it fast enough. So I will say, like, I'm usually like I got like a rash, like a size, and right now I only have like dots of it. Around.
Yeah, so you got you get rashes. You got poison oak or poison sumac. I'm the poison king. I get all the shit all the time.
Really? Yeah.
Oh,
I know. I
fucking
don't.
hate it.
It's all over my yard.
I get it all the
yanked
fucking
it out
time.
the back. I knew it was in those. I avoid the front, the hedges, because I know it's in there.
For a dude, then you got to worry about what's going on because the spot you transmit it is with your hands on your own skin, right? So if I touch my shit on my knee, I put it on my arm. Yeah,
another
move
myth.
the oils. Okay, move the oils.
Another
If I
myth.
touch my dick, it'll show up on my dick.
It's another
my
myth.
fish
So
Fidel.
it's only contact from the oil from the plant. It's not transferable by your hands. I've done like extensive research on all this shit.
Off with poison ivy.
Here's I don't care what the
I
science
think
says.
we're going to need a science experiment here to figure this out.
You might have had that oil on your hand when you got it off the plant.
I used to have to go to the doctors and shit when I was little for it.
You can't get it from the oil from the poison like when your rash opens.
So bad. I used to get
it gets gnarly, man.
All over the place.
They pump you with a bunch of steroids. I'm about to call steroids.
And now, so I don't get poison ivy anymore, right? People build immunity to it, which actually can happen, right? So I haven't. I haven't got it in years, right? Hold up. So I think I'm Mr. Cool. I haven't gotten it since I was fucking 22 years old. 36 years old. I'm walking around. We're going fishing. I'm with my buddy. Everybody's having a good time. Next thing you know, I touch a bush. I touch a tree. I climb into this spot. Fish for the fish. Catch a nice one. Come back. Next day, I got a couple little dots, right?
Ooh.
I think it's poison ivy. And just like Double D explained, you cut it open, you spray it. I usually spray it with 2+2, which is carburetor cleaner. Same thing as ether, whatever. Spray it in there, does the same trick as alcohol, burns it up, disappears, correct? So I scratch it up, spray it with the shit, burns like hell, wipe it down. I'm all good. Notice during the day, it just keeps getting more swollen and uglier looking, right? I'm like, what the fuck? It's not usually how poison ivy goes, right? I'm like, I don't understand what's going on here. I end up having poison sumac for the first time, and there's levels to this shit. Ivy is the guy who's on the team. Poison oak is JV. Poison sumac's varsity. Like this the Zach Fryling of the team, sumac, right? So I get this fucking giant patch on my leg, on my arm, and on my thigh that I never dealt with. This shit gave me PTSD. This is a public service announcement. Go onto Google and look up poison sumac. And if you can avoid this shit was the most traumatized. The thing that was on my thigh was just a giant bubble.
And
it's
you were
a big
still
giant rash.
Chicks. You fucking stud.
Gutting chicks. You know what I was still doing? You know what I was still doing? I was
out
slaving
there
in this shop, so I would take the ointment and wrap it and pre-wrap a shitload of it. And then still, I have to work shop. I can't not show up to work.
Yeah. Jesus.
I was out there.
Worst thing ever.
So like I was in a sports bra and shorts because it was like fucking 90 whatever on Sunday.
Why are you playing in the weeds?
Yeah, you're doing your OnlyFans. Yep.
At least I was fishing. What are you doing in the weeds?
Yeah. So I kept stopping. I think I stopped every like 40 minutes, if that, and just wiped my entire body down with alcohol.
Were you
wipes.
gardening?
I was doing the hedges. I was
Okay.
yanking everything between these hedges and then cutting them. So they're like, dude, I was so fucking sore on Monday. It wasn't even funny because they're taller than me. So from being on my toes the whole time, Rose of Sharon, it's called.
Roses of Sharon?
Rose of Sharon. It's awful. Don't ever fucking plant it in your yard.
Fucking Sharon.
It spreads everywhere.
Sharon,
it's so
bitch.
bad. I hate it. And it's so hard to get out. But
Damn.
I was from like, because I had to do one side at a time because it's so thick. So I had to do like the side closest to my house, then off the street. My arms were up in the air for like 4 hours, 5 hours, holding up the hedge trimmer.
Fuck.
I was like, I couldn't even move Monday. But all
this
Sunday
was
night.
Sunday?
Yeah, all Sunday night I couldn't sleep because I was just waiting to wake up with poison. You know what I mean? And then Monday I woke up with none, and I was like, dude, that Technu stuff's the shit. And then Tuesday I started waking up with them. I was like, fuck.
Oh, that's
This is why all of our plants are plastic. I'm like, I'm not
Oh
even
my
messing
God.
around. No watering it, no poison, no bugs.
Every year for years I get it. Just
Yeah.
nonstop.
Didn't someone on the team had ringworm one time and put Clorox on it, right?
Yeah, that was
We'll keep that guy
the same
nameless.
thing.
We'll keep
That's
that
the
guy
other
nameless.
thing.
He may
Yeah.
or may not have been interviewed on this show before. He had a comment
The
behind his leg.
landscaper-
It was a major
Alright,
tournament that no
okay.
one ever saw somehow.
All right.
The
He was
landscaper, the landscaper trick is to scratch them open and then pour gasoline on them.
That's what I was
Oh!
saying. When you went out,
Yeah.
I said I take it and I do it with
And you did
carburetor.
carburetor
Same
or
thing.
whatever, right?
Yeah, 2+2. Does the
Yep.
same shit.
Really?
Kills
Yep.
it dead in front of you, turns it white. Might leave a little scar in your skin because you're an asshole and you just crushed a
Poured
huge chunk of
gasoline,
poison ivy.
Yeah.
But
If that
you know,
doesn't work, then Steve shoots a tire at his chest and hope that makes it out.
I just call my
I'll take the pain
doctor.
away.
Fuck the gasoline. I call my doctor. I'm like, can I have some prednisone? Thanks. And poison. Get prednisone immediately. Knocks it out. But yeah, that was my weekend. I got trashed.
Nice.
Poison ivy.
I couldn't move, and then poison ivy.
Nice.
Fuck.
All right. Nice. Glad to hear.
It's terrible. That's terrible. How dare you? Glad to hear. How dare you?
I mean, glad to hear you survived.
Show that girl some respect.
Strong stem. What about you? How was your weekend, homeboy?
It was better than Conor McGregor's. I'll tell you that.
I think everybody's
Oh
weekend.
yeah.
Listen, here's the
I
thing.
think
Here's the
everybody's
thing.
weekend was.
Here's the thing. My opinion, which is only my opinion.
Sure.
Conor was beating the shit out of him in the beginning. Came out with some great kicks, great punches, was on fire, was
Yeah.
Mystic Mac again. He had
Yeah.
that awkward style. He couldn't get it. He was changing
Yeah.
stances,
Yeah.
looking great, right?
Looked like him versus Alvarez.
I agree. Maybe not to that extent, but he was looking very good.
Right.
So then all of a sudden, Dustin gets that takedown,
yeah.
starts not really hitting him. Remember, Conor landed some really good elbows from the bottom
Yeah.
while he was
Yeah.
taken down. So I'm like, holy shit, Conor, it's not good that it's going deeper into the rounds, but I'm confident. And I'm like, holy shit, he's doing well. Then he gets up, goes to kick him, kick him, hits his elbow. You see it like slow-mo on Rogan's page on his Instagram. It snaps then, right? Then you can see it's broken when he's standing there, but he's not pushing pressure on it. Then when he goes to throw that one punch, he pushes back, and that's when his toe bends, and it just, tibia clean through.
Dude, that's
Terrible
been,
injury. Terrible injury.
It's been happening so much lately, right?
I know. Yeah, I
The
guess.
first one,
Not
the
to that
first one I
extent,
remember
but-
was the guy
yeah.
on tight. Was it Corey Anderson? He was like a 6'4", 155 pounder on
Yeah.
top, and just imagine trying to go put your foot down and it's not there. It's just like, all right.
Terrible feeling.
So wait, what do we think about?
Here's the thing.
Did
Here's
we-
the thing. Him talking shit from his ass like a moron. Look, that was a terrible look for Conor. I think
Yeah.
that was a terrible
at
look.
the end where he said he was
Yeah.
going to come find them and shit, find him
Yeah.
and his family.
The
That's what I
pictures
was
of
just about to
Dustin.
ask
The
about.
best is Dustin's wife giving him the bird because he said your wife slid in my DMs and they have the pictures from the cage. She was in the cage to celebrate with her husband, and she's like 10 feet away. And they said, always get you a wife like Dustin Poirier's. She's standing there with her middle finger up to Conor
McGregor.
from like 5 feet away.
Yeah. What were you gonna say, Diana?
Nah, like he was laying on the mat saying, "I'm coming for you and your family" and all this shit. Like dude, it's one thing to talk a lot of shit, but you can't be that sore of a loser.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Agreed.
He's being a baby. Agreed.
It wasn't like as far as like being professional and shit like that. It wasn't a good look. I agree.
Now, was it one of the probably the most emotional moment of his life? There's a lot of money on the line.
His
for
career
the brand. Yes,
Career.
yeah. There's
Yeah.
there was a lot of emotion boiling over. You guys know, as in wrestlers, like there's a lot of emotion that boils over.
Yeah.
You can't judge a man on his reaction after
Agreed.
something that.
Agreed.
Was he an asshole? Yes, he looked terrible.
But also,
Can I share my
reverse
screen
roles.
real quick? There was a real
Yeah,
good
you should be able
moment
to.
after the fight. In the interview, Rogan just dropped this bomb.
Yeah, I seen this. Attaboy.
There you go, Connor. Get some DMT, rub it on there. You're ready to go.
That's
out here.
hilarious. That's hilarious. Nice.
But
So
the other big fight on that card, Greg Hardy getting knocked the fuck out.
By Suey? By Big
Yeah.
Suey?
Dude, Matt, I don't know if you saw.
Matt, did you see it? Did you see the fights? You didn't see Tua's fight?
no, I didn't. Tua Tonga
uh,
Baloa, whatever.
Get him, beat. Tell him. Yeah.
Yeah,
Great fight.
so I mean, number one, just paint the picture. Like Tui's a nice chubby guy. He does not
Yes.
look like an NFL athlete,
Throws
top-level athlete.
bombs.
Yes,
Throws bombs.
he's throwing bombs, and Hardy actually looked pretty game, like to
He
start it
does.
off. Yeah,
He's got good hands.
and then T just throws the punch, knocks him out, starts dancing over top of him, jumps on top of the ring. Somebody throws him a shoe and a beer. He
An
dumps
Air
the
Force
beer.
One. An Air Force One.
An Air Force One, yeah. He's got taste. Pours it
I
into the
did
shoe and
see-
chugs it right there.
I did see the celebration.
And his
yeah.
thing is he does that's like his shtick, right?
Yeah.
He's a
'cause
rugby guy.
He's a New Zealand. He was born in or Australia, but trains out of New Zealand. Or I might have that backwards. Born in New Zealand, trains out of Australia. One of the two, right?
Yeah.
And on the way out, he did it like 5 times with random fans' shoes.
Oh, that's
One dickhead.
great.
One dickhead put hot sauce in it, right? And it's on live on TV. He puts it in there. You can see the color. He takes like a little bit of a chug and spits it out. Like, what the fuck is that? And notices a different color. He laughs and moves on. But the guy shows it to him, and it's Dustin Poirier's hot sauce.
Dude.
And then, he laughed. Yeah,
Great
Ty laughed.
fucking
He was like, gave him a
promotion.
thumbs up, kept
Yeah.
it moving.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was about it.
If
He
it
loves
was like
Dustin,
some
you know?
bullshit hot sauce, that's
Yeah.
one thing. But
He
he's
put
like,
up
"That's
Poirier shit.
for Poirier. Dude, Poirier's on top of the fucking world right now.
He's
He
doing
did
well,
hot
yeah.
ones and shit.
Uh-huh.
Theo Vaughn really helps him a lot with like getting publicity and stuff. You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
I
Theo
didn't
so
know that.
funny.
I love Theo.
If people don't know Theo,
Theo
oh my
Vaughn,
God.
he's a fucking rider.
He's
for
hilarious.
Poirier.
Oh my God,
Love him.
he's not even. I don't even know what he is. He's a different species of human that comes
Oh.
out of
He's a
Louisiana.
fucking nut.
He's
Is
fantastic.
he Cajun?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean,
the most Cajun.
He's got the fucking accent.
That's why him and Dustin
shit.
are so close.
Yeah.
He loves Dustin 'cause they're both from Louisiana.
Yeah.
Big
I
time
love
buddies.
those accents. That's my favorite part of Louisiana.
Oh, they're
the
raging
accents.
Cajuns. Oh yeah.
The
they're
first
raging
time I went
Cajuns.
into New Orleans and heard it, I was like, why are they talking hood as shit like this? What is that?
Yeah.
Like, that's a weird accent. And then then I started meeting I did a tour guide who was like 67-year-old white dude with glasses who was like a city councilman, and he was talking like that too. I was like, what the fuck is going on down here?
Hell yeah.
Dude, I can't wait till we can do Working Perspectives podcast live from New Orleans.
Oh my
New
God, I
Orleans,
love
let's go
that
to
idea.
Miami.
Fuck Miami. New Orleans is way better.
Oh,
I
why do you want to go to Miami, Steve?
Because I love Spanish women.
Anyone
That's
there?
fucking
in
why.
particular?
He likes some spicy.
I need a couple lessons from your cousin before I go, so I can brush up on my salsa.
Mother.
I said
All
lessons, cuz.
All right.
What are you talking about?
Hey, I would love.
I'm trying to
do,
get good so I can go down there and press.
I would love to promote a show where it was her like Brianna's dance lessons.
Me
or
too.
something like
Me
that.
too. I agree.
Yeah.
Me too.
I bet
You have all my support.
Yeah.
But for that, do we take guys that are horrible at dancing and have her teach them, or somebody that already
Yeah.
has some talent?
Like,
Yeah.
see,
Doesn't
like,
matter.
well, like we should do it like a challenge, like 5 minutes to learn this dance, and then we'll have like 6 episodes with 6 episodes of 6 different guys, and then we'll vote. Like we can do a fan interaction thing to see which one's the best, right?
Yep.
Like 5 minutes to learn. We can choreograph some of it, and then bam. You know what I mean? Like you put it out there, and then the people vote on who's the best, and then that person stays, and then we'll do it again with like another 6, and you get a chance to meet Brianna and go to what's her shop? Reurban.
Right?
Yeah.
So here's the
Reurban is
thing,
the
I
name of her
agree.
shop.
I agree with all of it. Everybody should get 5 minutes. I need 15. I'm petitioning for 15 minutes.
Steve, you'll be disqualified from the competition before entering. So
what am I, a judge? What is this nonsense?
Yeah, you're just not involved at all. You're just you're exiled.
Understood.
So
Understood.
nice. Okay, so very cool. Yeah. So like Steve was saying, major fight this weekend. Everyone, it was all over the news. It was headline news. The whole gimmick. This could be the end of McGregor's career. Go ahead, Steve.
No, I was just gonna say, if anybody's seen, I don't know, Pete, did you watch the whole card? Did you see the guy who went against O'Malley? I should ask right off the bat.
Oh, Sean O'Malley.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sugar Sean fought.
Dude,
was supposed to fight
up
a top
and
10
rising.
guy.
That kid is like, what's
the
going
toughest
on?
I've ever seen. And for Herb Dean to stop that, you fucking dickhead, Herb. You let him get the shit beat out of him for 14 minutes and 30 seconds, and then decide to stop it with 30 seconds left. When the kid was clearly he was a zombie. He was just, you couldn't knock him out. Yeah, so I understand protecting the fighter, but like Sugar Shane beat the living shit out of that, or Sugar Sean beat the living shit out of this kid that had 11 days notice, right? So who wants to fight Sugar Sean off 11 days, right? Nobody.
Who's like probably the fastest up and coming.
And here's the thing,
not
ranked top 15 yet, because he hasn't really beat anybody big, but his skills are insane.
But
right?
he's a major social media presence, fan favorite, knockout reel. Oh yeah. Go ahead.
So they're building this kid up.
This
is their new Connor. You know, they're really trying to promote this kid because he is.
Dude, he's great on the stick. He's got a great look.
I agree.
Oh yeah,
I agree. So he's as he does this, he beats the snot out of this kid, right? I mean, to a point where you can't even understand what his face looks like. This is how bad he beats him up. But this kid pressures him the entire fight and will not give up.
Good.
Backing him up. Sugar Sean's getting really frustrated. He can't believe he can't knock him out.
Yeah.
Then finally, with 30 seconds left, he gets one good uppercut, a good left, but the kid's still moving forward. Stops the fight.
That's fucking. You should like
everybody in the place booed. Everybody in the place booed.
Let him go out on his shield. Dude earned it.
This kid just
let him go out on his shield.
You can't rob him of that stoppage after he just went. I mean, people know what they saw. Everybody's a fan of him.
He knew he lost, but he wouldn't fucking go
Rogan
down.
on the mic was like, whoever this kid is, everybody needs to follow him. Like that was one of the toughest kids I've ever seen in my life.
Dude, all fucking hard.
Shit beat out of him. But,
dude, when
you know what? For your career, it's better to lose that way than to win a snoozer. You know what I mean? Because like the fans remember it and they want to see the next
more. Yeah. This guy's a fucking blood and guts warrior. Went out on the shield.
Spartan.
Absolutely. What's his name? Let's shout him out.
I forget. Chris something. I don't even know how to say his last name. But if anybody that actually, you got to watch that fight. It's amazing how tough. The toughest kid I've ever seen.
Good for him.
Toughest kid I've ever seen.
Dude, he took the fight on 11 days
Mexican
notice.
Kid.
The 11 days notice he took the fight.
Chris Moitino.
Yes, on 11 day notice, and they were saying he works like 80 hours a week at like a union plumbing job. I don't know what the job was, but specifically the thing was 80 hours a week. You might read an article, Pete, you'll see it. But this
he's only 9-5 too, so everyone thought O'Malley was going to destroy him.
Nobody wanted to fight O'Malley. O'Malley was a minus 1,000. He was plus 600. I've never heard of minus 1,000 in MMA. Their lines don't go that.
Yeah.
That's like fucking minus 14 million in boxing. It's unbelievable.
How many fights has O'Malley had? It's crazy that he's on a main card of a UFC major pay-per-view.
He's
only had like how many? Like because
he's like a YouTube star though, so he's got like that.
He's like a Garcia. He's got the Garcia gimmick.
Yes, the exact identical person, but in MMA.
But he's got his style. He's tough. So
kid's good. Kid's good,
dude. I agree. Unique is the name of the game. Because like Connor, to be fair, when Connor first came in, he's doing the swing and heel kicks and like all that shit. Like Connor was the same way, you know, like very unique, very
Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, same thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So these guys.
Let's not call him Wonderboy anymore because he's like fucking 40 now. He's got to be Wonder Man. But all right.
But still, like these are the people. Like they're entertaining. So like you know they're not going to win every fight. But like look at like Mickey Ward. Mickey Ward had a bunch of losses, but he also has 6 fight, or him and Gotti combined had 6 fights of the year. You know,
also local guy Paul Felder, right? There was, you know,
whoa! But Felder's a top 15 in the world, top 10 on the, you know. And
true, yeah. Well, we're talking.
O'Malley's not that yet. O'Malley's not that yet.
Yeah.
He still has to do some more.
Nice.
But the kid's fun to watch.
All right, nice. So Party Boy Pete, what do you got last weekend? How was it, man? What'd you do? Anything good?
Oh, I was the same with Steve. I was just watching the fights.
Pete.
Nice.
Pete, did you happen to allegedly pay for this fight, or what are we doing over here?
I did end up paying for this fight.
You're a fucking square, Pete. You're fucking square, Pete.
You're working for the man. So
What's the matter with you? Fuck
right.
being a white Pete.
So let's we're coming to the top of time here. So Dangerous Diana, you got any recommendations for the upcoming weekend?
Well, I'm fucking finally going to Longwood Gardens. If it doesn't rain.
Here we go. All right.
If it doesn't rain. I'm really excited though. I Googled them today. So I was like looking like there's a lot of shit there.
Nice.
Dude, they do. So another Longwood Gardens recommendation. So they have like a whole events page. It seems like once a week or every other week, they do a beer garden live music show. And I'm definitely trying to go do that. I'm trying to go get tickets and sit in their beer garden and watch some music.
All right. We'll do Working Perspectives podcast live from the Longwood.
Yeah, love that. Let's get hammered and dance.
There you go. Get it on the company dime. Nice. So
it's business expense.
Yeah, great recommendation. So Longwood Guttons for all you people out there. If you got tickets, enjoy. All right, Strong Stem. You got a recommendation for this weekend?
Nah, Strong Stem laying low this weekend. He's had a bunch of action and a bunch of runs, so they're gonna lay low a little bit. Go to some NISA softball, cheer some little girls. Tell them when they do bad. Yeah. Tell them when they did bad, they did great, and cheer on everybody.
A dickhead coach in the face for fucking yelling at little girls.
I wish, cuz I wish.
Yeah,
but no, nothing major from me.
Nice, man. All right, well, enjoy it. All right, Party Boy. Any recommendations for the weekend?
Yeah, I'm gonna go back to the restaurants. It's my mother-in-law's birthday this weekend, so she's coming down. We're taking her out.
Right.
Oh.
To a little restaurant in Old City called Forsythia. This is like my favorite chef in the city. He used to own Will BYOB on Passyunk, and then he opened up Forsythia right before the pandemic, and just like best food. It's like American, Italian, French like mixture.
Nice. All right. Awesome, man. Cool.
Hell yeah.
What's it called? This new one? Forsythia?
Forsythia.
Forsythia. You know where it's at, Pete?
Dude.
It's between 2nd and 3rd on Chestnut.
Pete, you have a favorite chef?
I mean, it's hard to say because I like a lot of chefs. I like a lot of food. Yeah.
So do I. But I didn't even know like you followed a guy like that. That's awesome.
I know.
Yeah, my wife's a bit of a
because
foodie.
when I get great food, I would want to follow the bull.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, when you get a meal like that, you're like, oh,
hell yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, Pete, we should do a fucking like a dining review gimmick. That would be fucking killer. Nice.
If you want, I got banned from Yelp, so no.
Did you really?
Like a food critic. I love that idea.
That's what I'm saying. Like a food critic gimmick, dude. That'd be nice. Right, maybe we'll do a little segment or something, or make that a part of the show. That's a great call. All right, we'll look into that. Okay.
Break out my thesaurus.
Hey,
we'll call it Pete Can Eat.
Yeah, Pete can eat. Pete's big out.
What Pete likes to eat. I like it. Nice. All right, so we're coming to the top of time, so we're going to take off. Dangerous Diana, anything you want to say to the fans before we get out of here?
No, everybody have a great weekend.
Love it. Nice. Strong Stem, anything you want to yell to the dozens and dozens before we roll?
Apply this to life. I don't need to explain it. Beanie Siegel said, he's not the captain of the yacht, but he's on the boat.
I like it. Okay. Yeah, of course. All right, Party Boy, anything you want to let the people know before we get out of here?
I just thought party on, party people. Have a good weekend.
Party on, party people. Let me hear some more. Love it. All right. This has been another episode of the Working Perspectives podcast, Weekend Poppin'. I'm Matt Lavelle, accompanied by Party Boy Pete McCormick, Dangerous Diana Spencer, and Strong Stem Steve Cabot. You can find us on all podcast platforms and YouTube at Working Perspectives Podcast. You can hang out with us on Instagram at Working Perspectives Podcast and follow us on the Twitter and the TikTok at Working P Pod. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, email us at workingperspectives@gmail.com. All right, this is the end of the show. Have a great weekend. Thanks. See ya.
It's our objective to be effective by voicing societies. Working perspective, exploring your day and how you get paid. Launching a new episode every Tuesday. Your day can transform while we inform with new episodes available on every platform. So check out our vibe and how we get live. Then do us a solid. Share and subscribe. Would you share it? Would you share